Yeah, hi. This is Val's former wife. Can you hear me?
Yes, hi. I didn't know you were
Hi.
on.
And
Okay.
I love it that yes, I'm on. I love it that you were sharing that because it was such a startling dream I had that your mother had these. This is how I saw it. Your mother had these two middle-aged women, kind of, and they lived in the pantry. I didn't know that, and in the dream, I found out that they were living in the pantry and that she had known them for lifetimes. And she brought them back from several lifetimes ago. And I guess when you were a child, you would be living in the house, but you would only be really young. So you wouldn't even know them as your daughters, Valeska and Alexei, because they weren't even born into those bodies yet. So isn't that amazing? And I do remember thinking that your mother had brought back, I thought of them as Alexei and Valeska, but they were middle-aged people from a long time ago, in different bodies. So thanks for sharing that. Yeah,
You,
sure.
you want to share maybe your experience with my mother passing? That one?
Oh yeah, I remember your mother wanted to stay in the house when she became ill. She said she wanted to spend another springtime in the house where she had raised all these beautiful flowers year after year after year. She came from Latvia. She was a beautiful flowering person, and she was in her 80s. And so instead of going to the hospital, she had oxygen brought in. And I had moved to an apartment at that point, so I wasn't in the house. And I had a dream. And in the dream, like I said, your mother wanted to spend another springtime before she left, and she did. And in the dream, in the summer, I saw her, and she got up and she put on her shoes and her coat and her suitcase. And she went out the front door of the house, and she went down the driveway. And there in the driveway was a van with other people who were going to their new destinations. And she got into the van. And so I didn't see this in the physical. I was asleep in the apartment, and then you called me, Val, and told me your mother had translated or moved on or whatever. So I got a chance to see this.
Yeah, and then the next day, we called somebody, and the car pulled up in front of the house and took her body away. So
Oh,
you kind of saw it on the real side what happened. This is
yeah.
kind of drab, but on the real side is more colorful in a way, or there's more activity. You think the body's dead and everything, but there's a lot going on and we don't see. So what real side experience is so cool.
Well, I recently had kind of a shared dream, non-dream. Um, and I was waking up from this dream, non-dream, or I wasn't sure if I was waking up or not. And somebody said that person has died, but they don't know they're dead. They think they're still alive, and they really think they're still here. And I thought, are they talking to me? Am I dead? And I don't know. I don't know that I haven't. I just so thank you for bringing that up. And there was nothing at all to fear at all. But it was really interesting to realize a person could be walking around and not know that they were not, hadn't, that their body and they had separated, so to speak. In the
Yeah.
Philippines, when people leave, they have a feast for them for 30 days. And I think in the first week or so, they take the body and they put it in a chair, they tie it to a chair. And then people come and they talk to the being, because they said the being has not really left the earth plane yet. And so they need to get acquainted with their new position, and the people in the house and their relatives also need to get acquainted with the fact that this person is assuming a new position. And they're very comfortable with doing that for 30 days. They did that with my mother. They weren't allowed to tie her to a chair here in this country, but basically for 30 days we celebrated my mother as if she were here, because they really understand that the soul doesn't necessarily cross over right away.
Yes, in Latvia we have, I mean, every culture has their funny ways of handling death or passing over. In Latvia we have kind of a Day of the Dead. It's on October, but it's like this one day where you invite your past dear deceased relatives to dinner, and you set a plate for everybody, and you invite them in so they can revisit you.
Mm.
The ones you like, at least invite them. But it's just interesting. People try to keep hanging on to what they had, but life goes on. It's always new every moment, and there's just so much to being new now that we don't really need to go there with that. So that's what we're bringing out, information here and knowledge and the people's experiences and stuff, so people can just wake up to there's so much more to this that, than the old rituals and kind of way of looking at things.